All right, good afternoon. Welcome back here to Trader Minute. Great to have you aboard. Market been kind of chopping around in its morning range here this morning, and we just haven't really seen it escape out of this reaction range that we saw on that partial news that a deal could an interim deal with China could happen and all that jazz. We did see a drop right as I got off video this morning, and then slowly working its way back. But in regards to the volatility here, we're talking about lighter volatility than what we have seen, and in quite a big way. So we continue to see things like the VIX compress here. We do have small caps in the red today. They are trading slightly lower, but it's interesting seeing the rotation elements. Your Cats take a break today. Walgreens takes a break today, right? Where some of the stocks that took breaks over the last couple days, like a Procter and Gamble, right back up. Coca-Cola, right back up. And we see that kind of across the board. The one exception is some of the banks where we saw the early morning sell on the ECB news, on the bond drop, but then we saw on the bond pop, excuse me. But then we saw bonds just continue to drop throughout the day, right? The optimism of a deal with China and it improving the economic landscape was enough to push bonds lower, which is helping to push what? Banks higher, which is the correlation that we continue to see here. So banks trading right along there with bonds. Now for the challenge, we're in all cash, but there is a signal here this afternoon, and it is on Disney, and it is a bullish signal here on Disney. Let me show it to you here. You can see the crossover action, the 3-day moving back above the 7-day moving average. We have a higher low in play here. We are below the 50 on the Stochs 39.1, which we tend to see most bull signals above the 50, but we've had plenty right along this area here of late. You just kind of see how it's going. We saw a drop on it on Tuesday on the Apple news and the ITV and all that kind of stuff, but that has been bought back up, and we're seeing a fresh crossover come into play on it. All right, so going to go out and trade it. Going to go out and buy the 18th of October calls, just the regular monthly calls, 36 days out. And I'm looking at the 140 strike price here and looking to do 12 contracts on it. All right, so going to come in, see if they'll fill me at 252, and it's about 3,000 into the trade. Yeah, so they filled me at 252 with no problem there on Disney. So let me make sure the order goes out. We'll get the spreadsheet filled in. But 12 contracts of the 18th of October. Okay, 18th of October, 140 calls. And price 252, 12 contracts, and the stock is good old Mickey Mouse Disney. All right. And that is out. So let's come in and fill in the spreadsheet here. So we have 252 was our entry price on 12 contracts. Now the price of the stock here on it is let's see here, 138.50. All right, 138.50. The ATR for Disney is let's see, 249. So 249. So we'll plug that in here, and that's going to give us our stock exit level and our profit level for us. Okay, so 136.01 and 143.48 here for Disney. And let's see, current stock price. We'll get that filled in again. 20-minute delay. You've heard me say that plenty. And auto exit date is going to be 3 days from now. So we'll have Friday, Monday, Tuesday, so the 17th. So 9:17 p.m. session, and then 9:19 p.m. session for the green exit. And so let's make sure the rest is in here. And that puts us at about 3,000 cash into the trade, which is just So, yeah, right about the right allocation there. And trade is open. And there we go. All right, so we have that filled on out and running here. Okay. All right, I'm just double checking, make sure the alert went out. Okay, perfect. All right, so into Disney and running here with it again. 143.48 is the two average true range price target, which would take it right up towards this level right here that I have marked, and that's a pretty hefty move to make in one day, but in a few days to see it trend up there would not be that big of a jump there. And then the stop level comes in down here at let's see, 138 or 136, right? So 136, which is just under today's low. There for that, we have about a 50-cent delta on the option here, so 44 cents. So we have about 80 cent, or excuse me, 90 cents of risk here on that, maybe about $1 of risk here on the option. So it's not the most conservative of setups here, but also not the most aggressive of setups. We don't have a lot of extra implied volatility in the options like we have seen over the course of the last month with a lot of things. Some of that implied volatility has shaken on out here today. In fact, we've seen some of that IV shake on out of Disney. So nice to see there. Okay, still leaves us with cash for another trade. And so if we get another signal, we'll look to run with that. Again, the last day of making trades for this challenge will be the 20th. If we have trades that are running on the 20th, I'll continue to run them. I'll continue to kind of finish them out as the algorithm dictates. Most likely, I will not on the 20th just close everything. Unless we see something really unusual, then I will. But mostly plan to just run them out, and but the 20th will be the last entry day for challenge trades here for this challenge, and then we'll kick off the new challenge on the 26th. And looking forward here to that. The market internals, remain strongly bullish. Not a whole lot of shift or change in them. They have been bullish. They continue to be bullish. We do have the small cap sector lagging just a little bit here, but nothing earth shattering or monumental to read or take from that. The S&P 500 pushing up into new highs. We talked about the price target here for the market on this breakout, and it being right up here above 303, 304. So still kind of looking at that area for the market in the short run, but could definitely overshoot, there with everything that is going on right now. And I know, it's, how the heck do we have a market sitting at, near all-time highs, with all the issues that are going on out there? And it's pretty incredible. But when you come in and you look at, even some of the sentiments that are still out there right now, and this was released yesterday for the bullish bearishness out there, you can see the bearishness fell a ton this week, fell by 8.3%, but it's still above the historical average. In the bullishness, it jumped, but it's still well below the historical average. So, yes, there's been a little bit of a correction to the sentiment, right? The sentiments that were, just super negative a couple weeks back, they've been corrected, and we haven't seen them overshoot yet to overly bullish territory, which is what we would normally see, on some of these runs. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. But things squarely in the Bulls' hands, for the overall market. Doesn't mean every stock, is a buy or super bullish situation or something like that. But we're still seeing a lot of differentiation, and I don't expect that to go away. But some of these pullbacks, like at Chipotle, like we saw earlier this week in Disney, like we've seen in Microsoft, these are going to provide some of the buy opportunities as we go forward. And is Visa going to be a buy tomorrow? Who knows? It could have a 3-7 crossover, but if and when it does, it will give us a nice little buy opportunity. And so looking forward here, to seeing some of those. Thanks for hopping on. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.